Hello everyone, today we are going to discuss about special limits. But first, what is special limits? Special limits are essential for derivation of another answer or making it in a simpler form. So this is the three special functions and we are going to evaluate them afterwards. So first is f of t is equals to sine t over t. Second, g of t is equals to 1 minus cosine t over t. And lastly, h of t is equals to e raised to the power of t minus 1 over t. First, we must evaluate the f of t is equals to sine t over t. For the values that will be assigned, that we are gonna assign for t is 0. So limit as t approaches to 0 is sine t over t. As we evaluate the first special function which is f of t is equals to sine t over t, we must first construct a table of values from the left hand and assign values that are close to 0 but less than to it. So negative 1, 0.1, 0.5, and so on. There are 5 values there and 5 answers. So how do we get the answer for the t? We use the formula which is sine t over t and substitute t for the example like negative 1, we substitute t by negative 1 and so on and so forth. For the right side or the right hand or the positive values, same mechanics. We have 5 values, assign 5 values, and there comes the answer. And use the formula for getting the answer.
Now, consider the function g of t equals 1 minus cosine t over t. So just like the first example, we must apply the limit t approaching to 0. So limit t approaching to 0 is 1 minus cosine t over t. So we must also assign the values in the left hand and the right hand. So first, let us go to the negative values or left hand in the number line. So here are the values and their corresponding answers. So how to get these following answers? So distribute the values of t by using of 1 minus cosine t over t. So 1 minus cosine negative 1 minus negative 1. By the using the calculator, you can get these following answers.
So as we conclude the evaluation of the g of t is equals to 1 minus cosine t over t, so limit as t approaches 0 negative is 0 because as you can see to the table of values, if you rounded the answers by the whole number, it's equals to 0. And also together with the 0 positive or the right hand. So g of t is equals, g of t as 1 minus cosine t over t, it's equals to 0. So lastly, let's evaluate h of t is equals to e raised to the power of t minus 1 over t. So just like the two special functions, make a table of values to the left hand and the right hand, and also assign 5 values that is closer to the given assigned value. So the given assigned value is 0, so limit as t approaches to 0 is equal e raised to the power of t minus 1 over t. As you can see, the table of values, it's negative 1, negative 0.5, negative, and so on, and to the positive value, which is 1, 0.5, 0.1, and so on, and there comes the answer. So you must use the formula only to come up with that answer. And also to conclude to the evaluation of the third special function, it's equal to 1 because as you can see, if you rounded up the whole number for the answers, it's equal to 1. So h of t as e raised power of t minus 1 over t is equals to 1.